Welcome, my friends. Today we are going to study about the spur gears, the terminology of the spur gears, design of the spur gears, the force or the load which is acted on the spur gears, and the failures of the spur gears. Means the total detailed study about the spur gears. Okay, so first let's start the introduction part of the spur gear, which is already studied by us in the last lecture. Right. So first, what is the spur gear? So the spur gear is a mechanism which transfer or which can be tran- which can be transferred the power from one to another, or you can say that which can be transfer the motion or transfer the rotary motion from one gear to another gear, right? So spur gear is a gear which is transferred the power from one gear to another gear, also transfer the motion or rotary motion from one gear to another gear, right? When the teeth which is available on the gear are parallel to its axis, right? The teeth which are on the gear is parallel to its axis, then the gear is called as the spur gear. Also, also the driving and driven shafts are parallel and coplanar. The smaller of two gears in mesh is called as the pinion, and the larger is designed as the gear, right? This is also discussed in our last lecture. The smaller gear is called as the pinion and larger gear is called as a gear, right? So the teeth of the gear wheel are parallel to the axis of the wheel. The gears are called as a spur gear. So this is the uh, one kind of a hint, or you can say how you can uh, decide or how can you describe the gears as per gear or a other gear. So when the teeth of the gear wheel is parallel to its axis of the wheel, then the gears are called as a spur gear, right? Now, fundamental law of gearing. So, what is the fundamental law of gearing? Is a one kind of a law which is stated as the shape of the teeth of gear must be such that the common normal at the point of contact between two teeth must always pass through a fixed point on the line of centers, right? So, the law of gearing is stated as in this figure the two centers O1 and O2 are given, means the two different centers are the two different gears, right? When the teeth are contact with each other, then the common normal of at the point of contact means this n to n is the common normal, is the common normal at the point of contact point C, at the sorry P, at the point contact point P is the common normal NN, which is passed from C, which is passed from C, which the point C is the fixed point on the center line. This CO2 is the center line and CO1 is also a center line. Means when the two teeth are meshing with each other at a fixed point, right? So the common normal which is passing from this fixed point, common normal which is passing from this fixed point is also passing from the center point, is also starting pass from the center point of the common for the both gears, right? Now gear ratio. What is the gear ratio? Gear ratio of the ratio of the number of teeth of the wheel to the to that of the pinion is called as the gear ratio. Means the ratio of number of the teeth, the ratio of the number of the teeth of two gears which are in contact, right? Or you can say the ratio of the teeth of the large gear to the large gear to the small gear, right? Why? Because we are taking a small gear as a pinion. Now, transmission ratio. The ratio of the angular speed of the first driving gear of a train of gears to that of the last driven gear is called as the transmission ratio. Right? Means the ratio of the angular speed of the first driving gear to the last driving gear. If suppose there are four gears, four driving gears and four driven gears, means a gear train, a compound gear train made of 8 gears, which having a four driving gears and four driven gears. Then the first driving gear in which we are providing the power from external, right? So the angular speed of the first driving gear to the angular speed of the last driven gear, right? So what kind of angular speed can be transferred from first driving gear to the last driven gear is called as the transmission ratio. Now cycloid, a plane curve described by a point on a circle which rolls without slip on a fixed line is known as a cycloid, right? So cycloid and involute, both definitions are already studied in our first year in engineering graphics. So we skip that. Now face width. The width or the tooth part of a gear measured along the straight line generator of the reference cylinder is known as face width, right? So this is the face width, means in general the width of the teeth is called as a face width in general directly. The width over the tooth part of a gear, this is a tooth part of the gear along the straight line of the generator, right? So this width is called as the face width. The base circle, right? In an involute cylindrical gear, the base circle of the involute of the tooth profile is known as a base circle. Means the minimum radius of the gear, generator circle is called as a base circle. Having a clearance circle, is also known as the base circle. Circular pitch, the distance on the pitch circle from the point on a tooth to the corresponding point of the adjacent tooth, right? Now suppose here two teeth is given in this figure, there is two teeth is given. Then if I taking this point on the teeth, now I have to take a distance to adjacent teeth, means at this point. If I'm taking this point, then I have to take the next and adjacent point on next teeth, right? But I can't measure a straight distance. I can't measure a straight distance between two adjacent points to find the circular pitch. I have to measure the peripheral distance between two adjacent points. Why? Because this is a circular, right? This is a circular. Here is a circle, a circular element. So I have to measure a circular distance, or you can say a peripheral distance between these two adjacent points is called as circular pitch. Now suppose how it will define or how it will find. So suppose the total peripheral distance of a circle is a pi d, right? So this circle is a pitch circle, right? This line made a pitch circle. So the diameter of the pitch circle is a small d, and the total periphery of the pitch circle is a pi d, right? Now the total number of teeth on the pitch circle, or you can say the total number of teeth of the gear, is denoted by small z. So if I divide the periphery of the pitch circle by the total number of the teeth, I can get the distance between two adjacent points of the circular pitch, right? So the circular pitch P is equal to pi d divided by small z. Diametric pitch. What is the diametric pitch? Diametric pitch is the number of teeth of the gear divided by pitch circle diameter is called as the diametral pitch, right? Module. It is defined as the pitch circle diameter per unit number of teeth is called as module. Now pressure angle. The angle between the line of action and the line of perpendicular to the line of centers at the pitch point is known as pressure angle. Right? Means the line of action which is a line through the pitch point and tangential to the base circle. Right? And the line perpendicular to the line of center at the pitch point. The line perpendicular to the line of center at the pitch point is known as pressure angle. Or you can also write there, or you can also define the pressure angle as the angle between the common normal of the both teeth which are in mesh, the common normal of the both teeth which are in mesh to the line of center, right? Or suppose we are taking a example, we are taking an example to understood very well. Suppose this is a one kind of a teeth, right? Now a second teeth is mesh. Second teeth is mesh. Here. So this is a meshing point, right? This is a meshing point. Now the common normal which is passed from this point, common normal of both teeth, right? So this is a common normal and N. And the line of center means, suppose here a center C1 and the second center is here C2, right? So the line of center means the line which is connect the both center here, right? So both center are connected here. Now if this is a first gear and second gear is here, right? And both teeth are mesh, both teeth are in mesh. So the common normal is NN. Line of center axis is C1 to C2, right? So here now you have to take a normal to the point, right, which is passed from the center, common tangent, or you have to take a common tangent of the pitch circle, right? Suppose a common tangent which is passed, common tangent of the pitch circle, or you can say a base circle, right? You can take from the base circle also. The angle will cannot be changed. This is a tangent for the first. This is the tangent for the one circle, right? This is a common normal. Now I am taking a second tangent, right, which is passing from here, right? So this is also a tangent, right? So the angle between common normal to common tangent here, the angle is phi, is taken as phi, which is called as the pressure angle, right? Understood very well? Common normal at the meshing point, and the tangent of the gears, right? Or you can take a common tangent at the pitch circle. Suppose you are taking a pitch circle, then the circle which is passed from here, right? And for the common tangent, pitch circle is passed from here, right? If you can't understand, let understand again. Suppose here, just understood that two teeth are in mesh, then common normal is here, NN, right? Now, suppose this is the first gear and second gear is here, right? Now pitch circle, draw a pitch circle for first gear. Now draw a pitch circle for second gear, right? Sorry, first pitch circle always coincide, right? एक point पे वो insect होगी. Now this is a common normal. Now we have to draw a common tangent. Now we have to draw a common tangent for both pitch circle, right? Which is passes here, which is passing from here, and this is a tangent. So this angle which create between normal and tangent is called as pressure angle phi, right? So the definition can be written as the angle between common normal to the common tangent when two teeth are in mesh is called as pressure angle. Simply, right? The angle between common normal to the common tangent of the common normal and common tangent when two teeth are in mesh is called as a pressure angle, right? So next, the center distance. The center distance is the distance between two centers. The distance between two centers of the gears is called as center distance, right? Backlash. The difference between tooth space and tooth width is known as backlash. The difference between tooth space and tooth width is known as backlash, which are difference or which should be equal, right? Tooth space and tooth width both should be equal, but the difference can be generated during the operation, so it will be a backlash. Clearance. The difference between dedendum of the one gear and the addendum of the matting gear is known as the clearance, right? Which is here. Suppose this is the dedendum. Suppose this is the dedendum, but the clearance circle is below the dedendum. So the difference between dedendum and this circle is called as clearance. This can be measured when the tooth is